cmpradio.net. It's the station.
We're train has 16 cars, 10 economy, 6 first class, and remember, only 1 minute stop at every station.
Tired of being stuck on 76, 95, 476, 222? You get the picture. Anyway, jump on this train.
Fuck nuts. The conductor, I don't have a ticket.
Not sure that's your biggest concern.
When I did the interview with the Oak Tree, we had a setup. I had it all set up. It was right on his stoop. It was a lovely day. Now the problem was there's a nice tree near Dominic's house, and it provides great shade, but it also provides a nice setup for early set for mosquitoes to get up in the getting on deck circle as the sun's getting ready to set. And those mosquitoes, when we were in front of Dom's house, they treated us like the cops. Get those 2 black males over there. So we had to bring it to the studio.
On the D train.
There's someone else doing a job on this train.
Yeah.
We know that.
With Darren, DeVoue.
Hello, yes, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us on the D Train with Darren DeVoue on cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester. Today we're going to recap the Clippers' victory over Penwood yesterday, 36-zip. And also we're going to do a little trip. You're going to go on a little trip with me, a little day trip to the NYC. And finally, well, should Peas time free up, we'll have some Peas Weekly Hero. And also we're going to show a recorded interview with Chester Clippers Dominic Toy. All that on today's run. Don't forget November 7th. Don't forget to vote. Hold on, let's see if I can get it up on the November 7th. Stephon Roots. He's on the goal line. Get him across for the touchdown. Push him through for office in the general election. So yesterday at Jet Field, there was a little contest going on between the Clippers and the Patriots of Penwood. Clippers wound up being victorious 36-0. How we got there was scoring kicked off with a 4-yard run from Larry McDaniel, and then McDaniel got the 2-point run on the edge. That gave the Clippers an 8-0 score. Then Kamir Cosby, number 7, had a 61-yard punt return, and sophomore quarterback Jalen Harris hooked up with a receiver, and that made the score 16-0. McDaniel struck again for a 2-yard score, and Harris hit the Oak Tree Dominic Toy on the 2-point conversion, and then you got 24-0. Excuse me. Then Nyree Melvin with the 5-yard touchdown run with 8:11 to go in the second, and then with 2:33 to go, and the 2-point conversion was no good. Then with 2:33 to go in the third, Deshaun Jackson, junior running back, he's got to be close to 1,000 by now. We'll get to that in a moment. He had a 2-yard run, and then Harris hit his twin brother for the 2-point conversion. And then with 5:26 to go, Harris with a 5-yard pass to his brother, and that wrapped up the scoring there. Next week, who does Penwood play this week? Let's look that up real quick because I'm curious. Penwood dropped to 1-6. Nice coaching staff, by the way. They were very cordial, accounting. And I sat there when I first watched Penwood arrive for the game. Here's Penwood arriving for the game, and I'm sitting there. Don't worry about it, fellas. He looked at just moping across the field. Oh, don't worry. This is going to build character, boys. Don't worry about it. Down the road, this is going to make you stronger today. Oh, then we have now the weather. Weather started off nice, but then clouds set in quick, and then the breeze, holy smokes. The breeze was icy. Like you could feel it. It almost felt like hail was going to start on us. And cleared up for a hot second. And I got this pretty little picture yesterday. Look at that. That's when you knew. That's what I had a feeling like right there when the rain. There was a little bit of rain. It stopped. Clouds happened like that. Sun shining through. I got that pic out. That's when I knew it was going to be a Clippers victory. And then the rain held off for most of the game too. During the homecoming festivities, met a few people or ran into some old friends. My fraternity brother and Chester native, Larif Ham. And by the way, Larif is running a travel. He's also the CFO, CEO, accounts payable, all that stuff of Peculiar Travels. And he's running that business there. So while we were sitting there, I asked him, how's the business going? He said, oh, good, good. And I was thinking to myself, it's been a while since we've had a sponsor, Darren. I'm looking at Larif like Samuel L. Jackson in The Great White Hype. I love you. You're my brother. But then, excuse me, also joined by halftime by CMP's own Dave Berman, host of Delco Sports 360. And that was fun. Presumptive Mayor Stefan Root stopped by as well during halftime. We had a little chat there. And that was fun as well. We were talking food because maybe it came up because I found out that Duo Taco right there on State Avenue of the States is one of the sponsors here at the station. And so we got to talking food. And Stefan Roots looks at me at one point and goes, "You think they got pork back there?" I said, "They better." Shoot, come on now. What's the point of having them smokers if you ain't going to throw some pork up in there? So, yeah, then the alumni. Whoa, there was the game didn't have as much attendance as last season, my first experience with a Chester homecoming. However, though, man, those cheerleaders, the Chester alumni cheerleaders showed up in force. They were squad deep yesterday. I was kind of intimidated. Let's check the phone real quick. Nah, I didn't. I was hoping to have head coach Dennis Shaw on this morning, but I know what happened there. He's celebrating his 6th straight win as a head coach. It was homecoming. Oh, yeah. He ain't waking up. I bet you what time is it, 10, 12? He ain't up yet. He's still in bed. I shook it a little bit yesterday at homecoming. That was fun. When those beats get together. Kids having fun and the alumni having fun. It was a great atmosphere. When Roots sat down at halftime, we both were remarking back and forth. That was one of the things we were remarking back and forth about. Because, but at the same time, though, I got out of the game. And I was looking around. I was like, seems like a lot more young folks this year than there were. I'm just going to go show myself out. And sure enough, later on, I heard that there was a kerfluffle down there where Chester's Finest had to clear it all out. It was a shame. Detracted from the festivities and whatnot.
I get you. I get you. The sweetest deal, and you all down it. You just all down it.
Or in this case, the sweetest setup because, it was fun. It was great. Another great. I just marvel at how y'all do things down here in this town. It's really impressive. But going back to the Clippers, to recap that. So let's talk good and bad. So I talked last week. I said Harris had been dropping his eyes when the rush came at him. And in this case, yesterday, what he hit? Where's my roster? What did he hit for a big old bomb? He stepped up in the pocket. He stepped forward in the pocket. The rush came. It's like he listens. He's a passenger on this train. I believe it because he stepped up in the pocket. He saw the rush coming, stepped up in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, hit a receiver for a big gain. Didn't get his feet under him as he could have hit him in stride for the touchdown, but I think the rush was in his face almost at that point. The secondary rush was almost in his face at that point. Fine performance by the young sophomore. They still haven't. The passing game isn't showing the polish that you might want to see at this point in the season with Downingtown West on the menu for next week, but we'll get to that in a second. There was another play. Harris did something similar, stepping up in the pocket, using the protection, and because I know that have to drive an offensive. Because there are a lot of mobile quarterbacks that get sacks. Russell Wilson, for instance, he eats a lot of sacks, and that makes your offensive line that's got to make the offensive line, it's got to be demoralizing for them. But Harris wasn't that, especially yesterday. The bad penalties, once again, rearing their ugly head, although they had 11. I have them down for having 11 penalties yesterday, which actually might be a season low. Might. Don't quote me on that. Let's see here. Actually, I don't know if you've noticed, folks, but the CMP Radio Facebook page is down. So if you are a subscriber to cmpradio.net on Facebook and you haven't been getting notifications, that's because you gotta mosey on over to the YouTube side of things when trying to get CMP's content. Which reminds me, coming up later on today, the Cut Up podcast with Curtis and his crew, and the Sisters on Air podcast before that. So doesn't look like we're going to hear from Lake. Well, let's check in with the phone one more time. But we just discussed this, Darren. That man is done. And even if he is awake, he's trying to recover. I'm banking that. Let's see here. Oh, wait, which reminds me, now I have to move to the cmpradio.net YouTube page when trying to check in with the live chats, etc., etc. But give me a second here. I'm not seeing how to do that. I'm lost in here. Where we can't find it. Let's see, hold up. I don't know how to watch live.
Focus, motherfucker! Focus!
I'm trying. Jeez. I'm trying to, you know what? I don't think I know how to watch live videos on YouTube. That's something Grandpa's gonna have to bone up on. But anyway, back to the Clippers. The penalties, man. Coach, after the game last week against East, LaDonte Bell, former coach and now AD at Chester High, he was just thinking aloud, and he remarked about the penalties and how they're going to hurt them, in the latter portion of the season. At some point, it's going to cost them a game. And the team that usually loses is the team that makes the most mistakes. Yeah, so that is definitely got to get cleaned up. With respect to next week with Downingtown West on the schedule, you figure I'm watching what I'm seeing of West and what I've seen of them from last season and what I'm seeing of them on, on the internet and what have you. But the matchup that is going to play the biggest have the biggest effect on the outcome of the game for the Clippers is the Clippers D-line versus that West O-line. That quarterback gets a lot of time, and they open up some holes for their running backs. So that is a matchup to watch, for sure. So, yeah, that is going to be 11 o'clock at Jet Field next Saturday. So, I don't know if we're doing the game. He ain't talking. He's busy running everything back from the festivities that they had last night. So, they had a nice little block party. I didn't get to check it out because I wanted some Duo Taco, but you couldn't order online because I guess it was going to be too much going on. So I said, I'll just hang back and prepare for the day. And, enjoying my evening off because let me tell you,
Okay, here we go. The bullet train has 16 cars, 10 economy, 6 first class, and remember, only 1 minute stop at every station.
I've been stuck on 76, 95, 476, 222. You get the picture. Anyway, jump on this train.
And I'm looking at him thinking, whoa, you're so lucky they got lost. When I did the interview with the Oak Tree, we had a setup. I had it all set up. It was right on his stoop. It was a lovely day. Now the problem was, hold on, I'm running this intro again. Dum dum. I hit the delete that. Apologies. And yeah, boy, you so lucky. Because I'm that kind of punk that jail is a deterrent for me. Like, so, but you got to go through to make $1 in this world, boy, I tell you. So with that said, let's talk about a couple of weeks ago, we had a premium passenger on the train, and it was none other than the Oak Tree, Dominic Toy, and we talked about it. You heard about it in the intro here, and this is the whole interview in its entirety. So, D-Train here with Dominic Toy, number 0 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts. And Dom is gracious enough to stop in with us on his free time after practice. Dom, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, you missed last week's game, bruised shoulder. I saw that ice on your shoulder after the Perkiomen Valley game. Yeah, so I'm sure that obviously you team don't want to say didn't need you, but 52-0 over Interboro, was handled pretty easily. So obviously they didn't want to re-aggravate the injury. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty all right. Still trying to get it better, more stronger, so it won't happen again. Right on.
But keep in mind, this won't air until Sunday, so you won't be giving away nothing to the opponents or anything. Yeah, so you're safe there. Yeah, so you're UConn bound.
Yeah.
This fall, okay. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. How's the season feeling to you so far? I mean, you had that tough loss to Perkiomen Valley, then rebounded with 3 straight, Cheltenham, Phoenixville, and now Interboro. Next up is Henderson or East? I know they're back-to-back, yeah.
So I feel like the first game we just played down to our opponent. We went in light, thinking we just was going to run through them.
Right. Because a lot of things went your way last season. Yeah.
So, just to piggyback off last season, we was thinking we was going to come in the same way, but it didn't happen like that. It humbled us. So after that loss, we just played stronger and stopped playing down to our opponent.
Okay, for sure. You definitely buckled down with the run game because, yeah. Passing game has had some trouble getting uncapped, but you worked on that. I don't have the sound. I talked to Coach Dennis Shaw after the game, and he said that you guys wanted to work on the passing game and against Interboro. And so that clicked. I mean, Jalen Harris had 2 80-plus yard touchdown passes, and he had another 60-yarder would have been, but the receiver dropped. Don't want to put him out there right now. All right. It was Barrett. Yeah, I'm putting it on Dominic. But yeah, the passing game got going last week. And so, any word on your return or your return for this week against Henderson? They're going to hold you out as well.
I think I'll be playing this week.
Okay. All right. Nice. Add some more senior tape. Now, with respect to Downingtown coming down the road, you're not going to have any one of those look ahead because that, like you said, East and Henderson's not faring very well in the win-loss record right now. And so you got Downingtown who gave you guys your first loss last season. So you're not going to be looking ahead when you're facing. All right, there you go. Now, With respect to your recruitment, I saw the photos on Newsbreak of you at the Penn State stop.
Yeah.
And can you help me out with a little bit with how your recruitment went? Because for me, I played Division II ball. I never had to worry about no 30,000 member school having me on their campus. Most I got was letters in the mail like, oh, you heard of me. You know, call up the wider coaches. Hey, you guys sent me a letter. You mind if I show up this week to say hi? You know, that was my recruitment. How about you?
It was stressful.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
It was definitely stressful, but I was blessed.
Right.
To get the opportunity to play big time football. Not everybody get to do that.
For sure, yeah. Now, because you said stressful, so I'm sure the phone's going off all the time. You know, all these numbers. Hey, this guy sounded all familiar with you. Hey, Dom, how are you today? How's the family? He's got the whole tape on you guys, even though you don't know this guy from Pete. Sure, the mailbox was filling up. The email inbox is filling up. So you glad? I'm sure now that that's all behind you. Was it relief when you signed that letter? Or?
I didn't sign yet. I made a verbal commitment, but it was definitely relief.
Okay.
Definitely took some pressure off.
Yeah, I'm sure. Not to mention, what made you choose? Now, can I ask what made you choose Stores as opposed to State College?
It was more like what I wanted to do thing. I stopped doing what everybody else wanted me to do.
Yeah.
Everybody else wanted me to play defense, but I felt like I can take this to a whole other level on the offensive side of the ball.
We'll get to that in a moment, because I have I got one big thing with you. We'll talk about it in a moment. But I've been to Penn State a few times on a Saturday. The college I went to wasn't very far away. It was up in the mountains. And I've been there a few times on a Saturday, and I'm like, yeah. The school I went to only had 3,000 students. So, you know, as opposed to Penn State. And I'm looking around like, yeah, there's no way I'd have graduated from me. I'd have definitely been at the provost's office like every semester. Like, all right, I'm going to do better. So did that play into the decision as well, the population or the position offered?
Not the population. It was just more of the position offered.
Okay, that works out. Because, shoot, Marshall Falk, he all schools, he got letters from everybody. They wanted him to play D-back. Had to play D-back. And San Diego State was the only school that said, you can play running back. Worked out pretty good. So there you go. Yeah, now with respect to you taking this to the next level, as opposed to the passing game, with respect to the passing game. Myself, I've always found that, for instance, we have this book laying around in the studio. It's the 48 Laws of Power. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Okay, but this guy, he has a bunch of instructional stories. He has instructional stories, and he has these laws, like for how you can attain power and retain it. And so I have my own personal laws, own personal laws of power. And one of them is to let people come to it themselves. So I won't say to you, Dom, do this. I'll say, Dom, what do you think of? You know what I mean? So that way that person, my recipient, gets to think about it. So I need you to pose it to Coach Shaw this way, that way. What do you think of? Because I'm watching you plenty of times, and I'm seeing that's right there. I call you the oak tree when we do the games. You know what I mean? Because you stand out physically, like even from a distance. Reminds me of Brandon Marshall. Like, even though he was a receiver, he still looked like the biggest person on the field. Like, he just had that stature, like yourself. So, you're lined up on the wing. Coach, what's wrong? Fake pitch. Your big frame going right down the seam. You know what I mean? Like right there. Like somewhere in between the 20s. In between the 20s, we need to work down the seam more. And once we're inside the 20s, you lined up on the outside against any, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Just put it up high where you can go up and eat. You know what I mean? So tell Coach, what do you think of? If you could do me that favor, I'd most appreciate it. So you were the oldest of your siblings?
Yes.
Now, what did your parents think about, you know, with respect to your decisions I'm sure they had feedback, because, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure a mother, especially, she's thinking 3 hours of state college or, you know what I mean, 6 hours or 5 hours to Stores, yeah.
It was more about me. Like, she wanted to make sure I was happy.
Okay. Nice, yeah.
She really didn't mind how far I went or how close I was, as long as I was happy.
Okay. Now I'm a big mama's boy, so I went to Slippery Rock to start out, which was on the other side of the state, and eventually I had to come closer. So I'm sure you won't have that problem there. I joked before on an episode of the show when they released the article about you going to Penn State, and I joked before. I said, make sure when they're telling you, hey, Dom, yeah, we can get you this, that, and the third. Yeah, we got your books. Yeah, we got your dorm. Yeah, we got you this, that. Whatever they said to you, after they finish each statement, you just look at them and go, and? You know what I mean? Did you play it like I told you or no? Did you? No.
It was more it was hard.
Okay. I'm sure, yeah, because I mean, you're dealing with that. You're having a whole lot of things coming at you at once. And this is all new, and not to mention, it helped from, I mentioned myself with a D2 program, but you're thinking D1, there's more eyes, so there's more money. It's, a lot more reach into it, so I'm sure it was a lot more stressful. What number? Your number was 30 last season. You switched to 0.
Yeah.
Any reason that you care to?
Nah, I really wanted to keep 30.
Oh, well, hey, you a senior. Come on. Why you giving up your number?
But
the jersey got burnt? What?
The one day I walked into the high and they said, you're going to wear 0. Change the number up this year. Because I wore 30 my sophomore year.
Okay.
And my junior year.
Okay, right. And you're a senior. That's my, yeah. So, well, yeah, because no one wears 30 this season, right?
Or like a JV player does.
I'll follow that. Don't worry. I'll write my local senator on your behalf, Dom, about that one. No problem there. So not to get too personal. Do you have a
Nah.
Okay. Because I was going to be like, you know, come May, you're going to have to be like, look, girl. So that's what's up. At least you don't have that to deal with as well. So yeah. So that is interesting because I've met players from Temple. We have a former Temple quarterback coming on soon. He played against Miami in '93 when Temple first joined the Big East. So he's at Temple, and that's when Temple was like 115th in D1. So he's standing there with that program. He's got 2 Hall of Famers on the opposite side looking at him with Ray Lewis and Warren Sapp. You know what I mean? So there's going to be those moments for you. And I think that from what I've met of you, because I've watched you for the past 2 seasons, your sophomore season and your junior season. I've always enjoyed watching you play the game. Like, you are a stout individual, which is part of not just your height, but why I also called you, because Oak is strong, Oak is stout. So that's why I nicknamed you the Oak Tree. I don't know if it'll catch on. We gotta get that hashtag going here. But with respect to that, like, there are gonna be those moments, and this season you're playing through injuries. Next season, when you're playing through practice, like, it's gonna become a job. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna, like, especially camp. Like, when you got to run home in between practices and camp, now you're gonna be sitting in the dorm, like, doing film or something. And I just envision you dealing with that very well. Like, I've watched you for the past 2 seasons. I see you, like, when I met you after the Perkiomen Valley game, I'm like, finally in person, I'm like, so this is him. And I'm like, I found you impressive, not only on the field, but in person. So, yes, sir. Thank you, Dom. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy season and your last year. So, you're not going to get the senioritis, though, are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, in June, like, not in June. So, your commencement is going to be in June. So, somewhere around April, there's going to be this, it's the senioritis. It never fails. It gets everybody. There's no vaccine for it. So I'm curious to see. That is the one thing I'm curious on how you're gonna handle it, because nobody can avoid the senioritis. How you grade?
Good.
All right. What are you planning on majoring in at UConn?
Communications.
No fooling. Any specific focus or?
I really want to be like an ESPN guy.
Oh.
Stuff don't work out the other way.
Maybe that's why I like the young man. I was a communications major in school, focused on broadcasting. So yeah. So I guess we're gonna see you some more here at the station, and you might as well. We got a volunteer, P. I just picked one out for you. You got us going live? Yeah. Are they making fun of the corny Philly dude?
No.
All right, I'm good. All right, that's what's up. So yeah, Dom. Well, listen. This upcoming later on after the season's over, we'd like to get you in, reflect on how the season went, and hopefully it goes a little further than it did last season. I've been watching you guys since I moved here a couple years ago. So I saw your sophomore year. Freeman was the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And then last season, I just see a trending up. Like my football soul sees a trending up going on here in this town, and you're a big part of it. Like it's just very, very cool to watch, especially coming from a small town in the country where I went to high school. I'm from Philly, but I went to high school in a small town, and living in Philly, and now here in Chester, a small city but mostly black. So I'm like, it's like the best of both worlds. I feel so. And watching you guys. Under Coach Bell and now Coach Shaw, it's been very cool to watch.
Got big things coming this season.
Yes, indeed. I'm looking forward to seeing the next 2 weeks and then that big one. Yes, indeed. Yeah. But we'll be we're trying to do audio broadcasts from the game, but I'll record. I've been recording the games, but we try to do audio broadcasts, but Wi-Fi is an issue with us right now, so we're working on that. But again, I've had some good gets on this show. We've had Dave Berman. We've had former Harlem Globetrotter Ron Wilson. But this feels like my biggest get right here. This feels like my best get. Dom, thanks again for joining us. I look forward to talking to you after the end of the season, and good luck to you this week against Henderson. All right, so let's do that one. Let's run that back. Special thanks again to the Oak Tree Dominic Toy for take two. Special thanks again to the Oak Tree Dominic Toy for joining us here at the studio. An impressive young man. I looked forward to interviewing him during basketball season or at football season conclusion. And best of luck to them next week in the matchup against Downingtown West. I noticed though, you notice how we mentioned during the interview, we said, make sure they try to isolate you one-on-one. I've been seeing a lot more of him yesterday against Penwood. I noticed a lot more of him one-on-one on that outside. Harris has to get it up higher though. Look at him. He's higher. Harris has got to get that up higher where Toy can just simply lose his arms. He's like that. What was my man? Dawson in what was that game? Street Fighter? Yeah, that's him. His arms reach across the room, dude. Just get it up higher. If Harris can get that up higher, there's going to be points up there for the Clippers against Downingtown West. One last thing about the game, though. I did notice a little bit of social media chatter where there was a lot of griping how the price was going to increase for the homecoming event from $10 to $5. And watching, there's been plenty of times where I've arrived at a game before the booth is set up. And then I'll come back out and give, hey, bop, 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 just to make sure, because I want to see that contribution go to the program. Because, dude, if you've seen these road games and the difference between the facilities here in the city and elsewhere. For instance, last road game against Westchester East, they had they were ADA certified. There was this handicap section over there, wheelchairs. I was like, the place looked phenomenal. And then meanwhile, you got Jet Field. I mean, you look at the field, you could tell it hasn't been rolled a minute. It's different. You look at the difference. Stephon Roots mentioned it during halftime when he was with us during the game. The difference between the baseball field over there in your view and in the foreground, Jet Field, you're looking at the difference. Like, yeah. And so the griping about $5 when there's so much, like these players need to eat before games. And I was talking to Damon Fitzgerald's mother during the game at East, and she mentioned how the parents get together and that food, whatever you're doing, somebody, an old saying I heard, whatever you're doing, someone's paying for it. And yeah, come on, $5. Come on, people. Especially when, think about it. Shoot, Penwood, same thing. You know what I mean? Same situation where, and their building, it's been covered in 6 ABC where those kids' building is literally falling down around them. So to hear, to not be from this town and be so encouraged about what's going on in this town and hear so many people griping about $5 on one game, it was a little disheartening. It was a little, let's not do that. Let's not do that. So with that said, though, yeah. So I woke up and I decided to go to the bridge. Excuse me one moment. Decided to go to the bridge, and journey started off in Chinatown. So that's where we took off from, and here we go. Brother likes to make fun of me for facts, but a little fun fact about the Franklin Bridge. From 1926 to 1929, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Yes, indeed. So that was a fun little trip there. It took me right into Chinatown. And so got off the bus, hungry, smelled that grub. So I was like, I'll be back for that. But one thing during the trip, had to use the bathroom real quick. So I step into the bathroom on the Chinatown bus. And yeah, notice there's no, they don't even have that little joint for you to give your hands a quick scrubby in there. No. Also, there was no TP on there. No, the Chinese mafia is not throwing out for you to wipe your ass on that journey. You better bring your own TP or hold it, or when you're eating some Chinese and your ass begins to sneeze, diarrhea. Yeah, no TP on the Chinatown bus. So got to Chinatown in New York. Got to Chinatown, started to make my way. It's like a 20-minute walk from the bus to the bridge. Making my way, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing cops everywhere. I was like, getting a little uncomfortable. Like, whoa, what the hell? I just felt an accusation of a crime coming at me sooner or later, like more with each step. But then I looked over and realized I was right there by Police Plaza, which is like their police headquarters in this city. So I was like, all right, Darren, ease up. So I keep making my way. And went past the Manhattan courthouse, the front part of it. Notice all these reporters out front, thinking, oh, somebody big must be on trial. Okay, whatever. Keep rolling. So then I finally get to the bridge, and there are, as you can see right there, to the right of the frame there, vendors galore. So ever since the pandemic, all these vendors set up shop, and after the pandemic ended, a lot of vendors set up shop. This is the Manhattan side. And they're all clogging the walkway. So now the foot traffic it was a mess trying to get around them. And by the way, they're unlicensed. The great majority of them, excuse me. The great majority of them are unlicensed. So I did meet this interesting vendor who was selling his wares, a book called How to Roll a Blunt for Dummies. And also he has a how-to series on weed for dummies, or for how to roll a blunt for the astrophysicist. It's available on Amazon. So yeah, might be an interesting read one day. Apparently, as I roll a blunt. But yes, the Brooklyn Bridge, it was amazing. And I've been aching to cross that thing for years. How long is it? 486 meters. 486 meters. It's high, but it's beautiful. Oh man, I don't have the shots for the East Bridge, yeah. It's gone through several renovations over the years. In the 1950s, the 1980s, and the 2010s. So you can see right there where they retrofitted it because I was getting great reception on there. I walked the bridge, crossed it, got on, there was the Brooklyn Museum. I was like, damn it, I didn't realize that was so close. So I guess I'm just gonna have to do it again. Another thing too about them damn vendors, oh my God, there were dozens it seemed like dozens. There probably might have been dozens of vendors overall, but it felt like dozens of those cats. What are those things called? It takes like a 360 of you and puts a little music to it or whatever. Oh, there was one of them like every 20 feet. Dun, 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 in New York. It took me forever to get that song out of my head by the time I left. Oh, so I crossed the bridge, took a walk back, and came through. And as I'm making my way back, I noticed, now you probably can't see it there on those little bars, so hold on, let's give you a better picture here. As I'm walking along, look at the gate, you see those locks? You see those locks there? So I'm noticing those locks. That's what I was on this previous picture here that I was trying. You can't make it on that real thin bar that goes diagonal. There was about 10 or so locks on each side. So I'm seeing these locks, and so I had to do some research. But then come to find out, in say European cities such as Paris and the Ukraine, about in the 2010s, couples started putting locks on bridges. They lock the lock, take the key, and throw it into whatever waterway as a symbol of their love. Those people should have had to sign a log, because I'm curious as to the success rate on those types of the relationships. Like, did you last? Huh? How'd it go? Y'all still there? Y'all still hanging in there? What's the percentages? What else happened? There's a close-up shot. My man wrote it. They also write their names on them too. That can cause damage to the bridge. That's illegal, I would assume. Yeah, it has to be illegal. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say it is illegal. I stamped it right there. So cross came back, and so there were some steps that were marked Chinatown, which I didn't see on my way up because it was, right behind me. So I saw it said Chinatown. I'm like, well, I'm headed there anyway. I'll take the walk and go a different way back. Before I left the bridge. So also, in one way going into Brooklyn is 3 lanes. It used to be 3 lanes both ways, but now what happened is since the pandemic, they cut the Manhattan-bound side to 2 lanes and that 3rd lane is now, the inside lane is now a protected bike lane. And as I was making my way, because look at this promenade, and I'm thinking to myself, even without those vendors there, like before, even without those vendors there and those bicycles, like holy smokes, coming through. Because I think of the stuff that I pulled when I rode my bike regularly every day. And I'm approaching the intersection and I'm like, you pedestrians think that stop sign is for me. I couldn't imagine. I'm sure people by the dozens ate it there on that bridge before. Because, let's take one more look at it. Yeah, faux show. Oh, so I'm walking back through, and I'm making my way back towards Chinatown. But now, on this time, I'm on the backside of the Manhattan courthouse. So I'm walking. I'm like, damn, and I see reporters' cameras set up there to try and catch somebody in case they come out the back way too. I'm like, damn, who's on trial? OJ? And then it hit me. Oh, Trump's fraud trial is right now. So that was this past Tuesday. So I was like, I started to hang out and get me a shot at the Donald too. But I was like, no, I'll leave it to the professionals on that one. So that was the train ride to the Great Bridge. You know what though? Next time, and especially in light of this, because man, there was people all littering, not just the vendors and the amount of people walking up and down, but there were people in your way trying to hog up the middle of the walkway and getting annoyed at you because you're walking through, like when they're trying to get their little Instagram or TikTok on. I'm looking at them like, dude, you're in one of the most populous cities in the world, and you're trying to have an area to yourself on a known tourist attraction. Come on, you're killing me, Smalls. So but anyway, thanks for taking that trip with me. I'm gonna see real quick if because P is in the building, but I'm not sure if. So hold on, what we're gonna do real quick. Hold on here. We're gonna see if we can't get him on, and if not, because he's got his youngin'. So let's see. So hold on, I'm gonna actually roll the intro, and we'll see what's going on here real quick. Give me 1 second.
Once a week, a person steps forward to be more than a person, to be an example, a beacon, a hero.
The Stillwater, Oklahoma police said an officer was on routine patrol at 9:38 p.m. when he saw a tan Chrysler minivan. The officer turned to drive past the van after seeing it stop in the middle of the street and saw a 10-year-old boy sitting in the driver's seat. Eventually, the van went through an intersection in reverse and went up an embankment into the front yard of the residence. The officer then pulled his car in front of the van and blocked it. The officer then placed the 10-year-old in the back seat of the car. That's when the 10-year-old boy told the officer his dad wanted him to have cereal before going to school in the morning, so his dad sent the boy to buy Cheerios at the store. He did. However, the officer took the boy home. The officer found the boy's parents had been asleep. The boy then admitted he had just left home without his parents' knowledge to go to the store. 10 years old. 10 years old. By himself at 8:30. Driving. That's my hero. And he didn't crash.
It's time to find out who gets their cape and shades and takes to the sky as Who's Weekly Hero.
Fluffle.
P, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
The D Train.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Good to see you, bro.
All right, man. We got yeah. Oh, yo, you weren't around when that whole kerfluffle went down yesterday, did you?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm glad.
What kerfluffle?
All right, even better.
What is a kerf? No.
What is a kerfluffle?
Yeah, you gotta let me know what the hell a kerfluffle is. I don't.
Hold on. Actually, hold on. You know what? I love when we do this.
Are you gonna look it up? Are you saying words you don't know the definition to?
We do this all the time. I know how to use them. All right. So commotion or fuss, especially one caused by conflicting views.
Okay.
So yeah, I heard that. Heard a lot of. I saw different cop cars because from where I live, I could see the cop cars coming down 9th Street, and I saw them headed north. Is that north on 9th Street?
I don't know.
Yeah, north on 9th Street. So they were headed up 9th Street, and it was different towns. Like I saw different townships and whatnot. But yeah.
I think more than anything, man, people were waiting for something to happen. Like we had people that just could have been drunk. Turn my volume down a little bit.
Right.
Turn me down.
Turn you? Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Right. So I don't think there was a ton of people, out there looking to get into a whole bunch of mess. But we had a tragedy occur the night before. Just glad no one else got shot. So we just got to keep on moving, man. Whatever's going on, positivity is the way through it. Honestly, communication is the way through it. So I don't know where the police was going. I wasn't out there, but my prayers is to everybody's family and for everything that's going on. Right? That's all I can say. Because I can't judge anybody because I know what it feels like. So
I know that's right. I'm in the glass house and I shall not throw stones. Yeah. 2 kids, P, are your first nominee.
Okay.
2 kids, age 10 and 11. And before we used it ever since the first hero, which we used in the intro,
right?
The original hero. So in the spirit of him, 2 kids, 10-year-old and his sister, 11. They stole their mom's car, drove it 200 miles before finally being pulled over by cops.
Where were they going?
I have no idea. Let's see. They drove their sister. They drove 200 miles in their mother's car. They were in Gainesville in North Florida just before 4 a.m.
Okay.
This past Thursday. The children's mother reported it stolen and her children missing for 4 hours. And they were in Northport, Southwest Florida. The cops, thinking that they were dealing with car thieves, drew the guns and ordered the occupants of the car to get out.
And the 10-year-old and 11.
10-year-old stepson. What the hell?
What's up, man? We took our mom's car. Like, we didn't know. That's crazy. But they could drive 200 miles on the highway.
Right. Man. And the 10-year-old was the driver.
Wow. He was a boy?
Boy. Yeah. The kids told deputies the girl had been upset that their mother had been taken away, that they had taken away her electronic devices for misbehaving.
Right.
So her and the boy were going to, would you like to guess their destination?
To Dad's house.
California.
Oh.
They were on a trek.
They were going to drive all the way to California. Did they have money on them?
They had intentions to. That's what y'all know y'all was going to have to eat at some point.
At some point, you was going to have to get gas at some point. Like, did y'all have money? Like, how much money do y'all got? Like, that's crazy.
My goodness.
And that's what I mean. That's all about imagination. Don't kill kids' imaginations, right? Believe in them, bro. If you believe in them, anything's possible.
Spirit. Oh man. So yeah, that's your that is your first nominee, P. Your second nominee is former NFL player Xavier Howard. Now P's been on the when P was on the show all the time, P would always talk about having as many children as he could. Well, Mr. Howard it's known right now that he faces an accusation. He's accused of having 4 women pregnant at the same damn time.
Oh, man. Come here, Jordan. Come here. Over here.
At the same, I got the brakes on. Yeah. So that's your second nominee, P. So talk about baby. He quintupled his baby mama drama all at once. Then finally, P, your last nominee.
Hold on, we gonna go back to Xavier Howard. I just wanted to get my daughter's face cleaned up because you know I'm in here. I got Jordan. Say hi, Jordan. Say hey. All right. Say hey. Say something. Say hello. Yeah, she's just gonna stare at the microphone. She's so corny. But so he has. That's kind of like what Nick Cannon is doing. It's not hard if the women if the women are in agreement with it, brother. Like that's just what's happening, right? Because I think a lot of people understand it's hard to do it by yourself. Not only is it hard to do it by yourself, but it's hard to find somebody that is that. And Xavier Howard plays for the Miami Dolphins. Am I right?
He's a former.
He's a former.
NFL. Right? Yeah. When did he retire? Let's see.
Because I feel like I seen his name in Miami.
Okay.
I don't think he's a former.
Let's see. Let's see if Mr. Howard.
Yeah.
Let's see. Football cornerback.
Yeah, he's a cornerback. He plays for Miami Dolphins.
Oh, he's still playing?
See, thank you. Yeah. Come on, Darren.
I thought he had to be retired. Listen, he got this much time on his hands.
That's not a lot, bro. It's not a lot of time, bro. It's not. It's not.
There's a reason they call it the natural act. He could have gotten it accomplished in an hour, for real.
He could have got accomplished in 15 minutes,
with the right pills. Yeah.
Not even with the right pills,
man. Come on.
No, like, Monday I see you, Tuesday I see you. I'm not spending or we all in the house together, and all of y'all get some. Like you can't do anything by yourself. Anything that you think is accomplishable by yourself is very small and meek, bro.
Right on.
You feel me? If you want to get things done, you need a team. So, raising up a family, everybody got to be on the same page. If he had 4 boys, guess what? Guess one thing a female
he's
does.
Created a squad now.
My son is gonna be. You feel me? That's their dad. You feel me? It's the reason why people want to deal with you and want to have kids with you.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, shoot, that's why I'm trying to be like what's the old girl's name? This Vixen what's her name? Raynard, something. She's been talked about lately because she was out there, she was that video chick, getting with all these rappers, NBA players,
Superhead?
etc. Huh?
Superhead?
No, not her, but along those lines, same thing though. But yeah. I'm trying to be that to the WNBA.
Oh.
I'm trying to be like them. Those Superhead is my role model. Like she is an inspiration.
I don't think a lot of those WNBA players like what you have to offer.
Oh no, right?
I mean, it might be a sprinkle. You feel me? Like my man E40 say, "Sprinkle me, baby." It might be a sprinkle of females up there that might like what you have to offer, but it ain't that many. It really ain't that many, and they ain't worried about having no kids.
The one that's about to get her free agent deal.
Right.
No.
You go to her, she might talk about let me bend you over.
Right.
What?
Wait,
no, no.
Either that is the one that's about to retire.
Right.
I'll make a boy toy out of you for one night.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'll take it. But there's a lot of players. There's a lot of players that just had babies. They got a baby that plays for Las Vegas Aces. She just had a baby.
Okay. See? Yeah.
Yeah, somebody that played for the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix
Yeah.
Mercury. She had a baby, and they actually banned her from coming back to practice and stuff. They was like, no, you can't have no baby. What? Why can't I have a baby? I'm a woman. Like, that's number one.
Yeah, for real. That kind of comes with the job.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, so finally, Pete, this is your last nominee. It was at the game 2 of the Wild Card Series at Citizens Bank Park here in Philly.
Did the Phillies win yesterday? No.
No, they won. Yeah.
They won yesterday? Yeah. They look good, though.
So, yeah, this happened at Citizens Bank Park. A gentleman, unknown gentleman, anonymously spent $4,500 buying 2 rounds of beer
for everybody
in his section. doing the Lord's work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, when you got it, you got it, bro. Yeah. I want to know if anybody hit that Mega Million or the Powerball. Anybody hit that? That was $1 billion. Like, I'm still on that.
Yeah, right. If not, I got a relative who just came back like from the brink, so I'm gonna try and sit with her for a little bit, rub her kneecap, and then go and play that lottery and see what happens. Either that or go get the ticket and tell her to touch it. She'll get a cut, but yeah. So those are your 3 nominees, Pete. You got those 2 little road bandits.
You already know who I'm going with. Not with the kids.
No, shut up.
No.
Oh, that's what I thought.
I'm going with the 4 baby. The 4 baby. But listen, if it's not one thing I know, you feel me, it's hard as hell to raise a child on your own. You feel me? Even with a mom and dad situation, like you need that extra help. You need. So it could be one female out of the group that say, all right, I'll watch all the kids, y'all go out and work. You feel me? I'll clean up the house, I'll cook dinner, y'all go out and work, no problem. Like you need that.
Right.
And listen, you only need one woman that wants to breastfeed. She can breastfeed all the kids. They all related.
Just hook her up to the machine that you got to
and then females, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not being rude or callous. I'm just saying like this is how we evolve. We gotta go back to where we were or what we did in the beginning to evolve correctly. Okay. America doesn't give us that fortune. America doesn't offer us those opportunities, right? You got to stick with one woman. Why do you think they came to Africa and took us, bro? Because it was one man surrounded by a whole bunch of women. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like that in every different village, bro. It was like that. Why you think they send the young boys out at 13 years old to discover who they are? Right. Like, so I don't know. But, you know, I give my shout out to Xavier and Howard, man. Congratulations. Be safe, man. Baby mom.
He ain't being safe is a relative term.
He is being safe. I mean,
not sexually.
Yes, he is. How you know all these 4 women ain't getting tested? How do you know these aren't? This is not what he wants, bro. You're not just popping up with.
Again, you know, you gotta keep in mind. You gotta take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, though, because remember, I ain't got none. You know what I mean? I had no intention, so they.
How do you know all 4 of them not hanging out? You didn't even know if he was still in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's a star, bro.
Yeah,
he's a cornerback.
I've seen a relative did it with 2 chicks at the same time. All three of them were. I was like, what are you, Mormons? What the hell is going on over here?
Before the Mormons, bro, that was ours, bro. I'm gonna keep it funky. That was ours, bro. Like,
right, the Muslims too. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, not just Muslim. Like that was African, bro. You go in there, you see him with all his queens, concubines, and all that stuff, bro. Like, come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man. Like that's how it went down. Now you get over here, and then they knew our strength. That was our strength. A man can't do anything by himself, bro.
No.
You're gonna need a woman, and a woman can't do anything by herself. You're gonna need a man. So,
right.
What's the problem with a man having four wives and he's in the NFL? You can't say you can't take care of them.
Sound like a lot of headache to me.
I
hear a lot of headache.
No, that's because we don't have no money.
Right, there you go.
So he's worked for that.
Because I need to be able to afford a place to just escape from all of them too.
That's football.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, P. So that's your boy, Xavier Howard. All right, that's what's up, and that brings us train right into the station too. So with that, don't keep in mind. Keep in mind, Sisters on Air coming on later, and the Cut Up podcast, the Facebook page kaput. So if you need,
what you mean the Facebook page kaput?
All right, we'll talk later.
Oh, you didn't do nothing on Facebook?
No, because I saw when I went to hit the Jimmy John, it wasn't an option. Like it was there, but like kind of dark, like not. I was like, oh, all right. Oh. And then I've also, people told me they hadn't been getting notifications.
They got to go and
subscribe. Yeah, they are, yeah. So there you go. Also, one last thing, people. November 7th, let's finish the job, Chester, so don't forget Presumptive Mayor Roots, and that. Oh, next week we're gonna clean the clutter car, and that's about it. So, thanks for joining us and spending your time with us, and that'll do it for this run in the D Train. We'll see you next week.
You will both deboard at Kyoto Station, then your business with him will be concluded.
Man, I just want to get off this train and go see a Zen garden and some shit, you know?
One, two.